Hello, this is an open letter to Digital Extremes, Warframe, and everybody involved with that on my thoughts on the Wolf of Saturn 6 content. I know I've done one of these already, but it's Sunday, or I guess it's technically Monday now. It's like 3 in the morning. And the weeklies have reset, and it just further cemented some stuff that I want to make sure uh, I, get out there to the world and just see if you guys care about it. So, just logged into Warframe. Have my computer here. That's Diva, don't mind her. Checked the tasks. And there's a bunch of crappy tasks in here again, which is very annoying. So, heading on over to the Twitters. Last week when this reset, I tweeted to just Steve Sinclair, he's like the lead game designer guy of Warframe and Digital Extremes and all that stuff. So I said, I frequently find myself starting to do something in-game, like build or level a new amp, or, level a new Warframe, or trying to go and get some Iatan statues and put stars in them. I'm just doing something in-game, right? Then I remember that I might be tasked to do that thing next week. So instead of playing and enjoying your video game, I log out. Because if it's not on the list, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste my time. And that is a freaking terrible system, and I hate it. And I've really started to enjoy Warframe less and less and less and less. As a veteran player, I understand and I actually really enjoy the new player aspect of that system. So today, I just tweeted at two of the people. I should have tweeted at Warframe also. I don't know who sees all this stuff. I should probably put it in their forums. Somebody, if you see this and you think it's good, drop it in their forum somewhere. I'm not super familiar with how to get content to people. Normally I just tweet at them and hopefully it's not annoying. But so today I just tweeted, I'm really glad that I followed the advice that I gave myself last week and I didn't play your game as much as I otherwise would have, because there are several missions this week that I have currently saved up from previous weeks, basically confirming to me that this system is really bad in its current state and implementation. Which is true. I think it is quite bad. But I don't want to be someone who just complains without offering some potential fixes or some ways that I would want it to see going in the future. I don't want to just come across as I know better, blah, blah, blah. But I don't enjoy the game as much. And that is a huge problem because this is the only video game I've ever stuck with for this long. And that's important to me to have the sort of game that I can always feel comfortable playing and not have to worry about I know everything changes and that's just the nature of the universe, but hopefully I can influence its change in a way that is not just better for me, but also other people that might be experiencing the same sort of frustrations with the game that I currently am. I had something I was going to say. I should have taken an Adderall before I started making this video. So, the thing that is most prominently problematic to me after having done this for several weeks is there's no flexibility. I can do these specific tasks or I get nothing. It's straight one-to-one, do a thing, get a thing. And these are even parts of a thing, right? This gives you a faction currency that then increases your rating so you can kind of further it's very clearly supposed to be when other video games do seasons of rewards or whatever, and I'm not a big fan of those either, but this is just not a season. I'd almost rather have another season where it's pay $30 a month and you'll get all this extra stuff, that at least makes sense. This I understand they're trying to go for that, But in its current form, I think it does. It's basically trying to be too many things and doesn't do anything good enough to be satisfactory. So yeah, I'm basically using my big long like Twitter rant thing as like bullet points to keep everything more organized than last time. Which I actually did write like some bullet point lists last time or whatever, but so currently it's trying to be a hybrid. It's trying to transition a lot of the rewards in Warframe to a hybrid system of like currency accrued over time, but also it's a list of tasks, which is like trying to show people like things that they could do. It's also clearly supposed to be just like stuff that you're going to do anyway that you're going to get rewards for in the background or whatever. But last week, I basically didn't play the game as much because I had already completed all the tests and checklists and stuff, and I was like, well, if I don't play, like, a lot of these things will probably be on next week's list, and they are. Basically confirming my belief that this is a stupid system in its current implementation. And that doesn't mean that it always has to be, just that I don't like it. So yeah, I like the idea of like them trying to help new players out and stuff, like I've said. So you gotta have some amount of that or whatever, but so it's currently trying to be a hybrid system of currency accrued over time, and it's a task list designed to show new people options that they might not be aware of, and then further incentivize those tasks to get people into your game, to get more of the people who are not veterans into veteran status, which is good. I like that they're trying to do that. But I think these two things are greater served apart in separate systems rather than mushed together into this one. So currently, if I were to ask somebody, what is the Wolf of Saturn 6? They would not be able to answer that question. Is it a currency? Is it a payment over time thing? Is it an experience point accrual? Is it a single reward per task system? Is it a storytelling and lore building element? Is it a syndicate? Is it an event? The answer to all of those is like, yeah, kinda, which is bad. In short, it's too thinly spread out across too many different things, and it kind of feels like they're just trying too hard to like touch on all of those bases instead of doing the thing that has worked for digital extremes in the past, which is very slowly and methodically implementing a change over like many years. To do this correctly, I think that's at least like 3 different systems, probably over the course of 3 different years, based on how quickly stuff changes in Warframe from what I've seen since like the very beginning, right? So I guess that's just like one thing that they would have to consider, they would have to do, right, is just figure out what exactly and specifically they want this to be, because currently it's too many things, and I'll get into some further stuff for it, like currently. So to fix all of this without having to do 3 years of work, I would like to see a baseline system of earning Wolf credits and furthering your path along the like season of rewards, based purely on time spent in game. If you play our game enough, because it's not PvP, it's not competitive, it's basically just like super fun grindy time killer game. It's like a glorified mobile game in a lot of ways. But like the moment to moment gameplay in Warframe is so fun that it's kept me and a lot of people just playing it for the fun of playing it. And I very specifically don't like this for a couple reasons. So in order to fix that, you have a baseline system just purely based on in time in game, right? And it doesn't have to be a lot of time. It can be a little bit of time stretched out over a lot of stuff if you want to like super power game it and stay doing tasks or whatever, because you couldn't just like straight have a login, like time amount logged in or whatever. But there's lots of like clicker games and just like passive phone games and crap like that can give you some amount of rewards. Like I definitely wouldn't want it to be like a clicker or those games, but those games have systems that incentivize you continuing to play their game. That's not a checklist of like homework that you have to do. And I'm sure there's somebody smarter than me who can figure out a way to incentivize time playing your game without it just being a slog of like, here's everything that you've done in the game, do it all again every week. Because that's miserable. So, final bullet point. I don't like being told what to do and how to play any video game. That's like Blizzard's whole problem that they've had in the last like several years, is that they were like, as long as it's a creative use of game mechanics inside our worlds, it's fine. To this is how you play World of Warcraft, this is how you play our games, this is how you play Overwatch, this is how you play, and they just shut everything else down. And like a lot of those things are like game breaking things in that specific example, but my point is that I don't like being told how to play your game. I like being given many systems, especially as a game is complex and complicated as this. There are many systems. In fact, just today, I made a complete 100% pacifist Baruch that I've been able to complete missions, as long as they're not exterminate missions, basically. I've been able to complete missions without killing a single person, which is awesome. Not as fun as I kind of wanted it to be, but it's awesome, right? You understand? Like, that's an option now that I have that is not even, like, presented in this list, because it's not kill a bunch of guys with radiation damage or whatever. So I don't like being told how to play your game. I don't like being told what to do. I like that you're trying to show people that don't know what to do that there are things that they can go do. So like, I'd like to see a baseline system of earning wolf points purely based on time spent in-game with a bonus system of tasks. I don't like being told what to do and how to play, but I have no problem with optional tasks for bonus points, and also the current tasks are boring and not that interesting. Complete 3 capture missions. Complete 9 invasion missions. Pick up 8 rare mods. Fully socket 3 sculptures. Kill 150 enemies with blast damage. Polarize with Forma 3 times, not in a simulacrum. Simulacrum? People always get mad at me for saying that word wrong, and every time I've looked it up, it's like, all pronunciations are fine. Catch 6 rare servofish. Right? If these weren't tasks, but just like things that you could do optionally or for bonuses or anything else, stuff that you would get in the background as you were playing along, it would be fine. But in its current state, this is the only thing that I can do, and I don't want to do any of these things. I want to continue to figure out ways to get Baruch's passive abilities to allow me to pass missions without having to actually kill anybody in true pacifist form. This is new. This is interesting. I want to do more of this, but I can't, because for the next week, basically I'm going to log in, do the sorties, do maybe 2 or 3 of these, and then log out because I'll be bored and tired of playing your game. So hopefully I haven't been too hard on it, with it just being like, this is my honest opinion about the current state of things, and I've given a couple different, not fully fleshed out ideas, of course, because I mean I'm not in a state to implement them, but hopefully some ideas that the next thing that comes after the wolf missions, you know, season 2 essentially, hopefully a lot of those things won't be so just depressing to deal with. But that is the current state of things for me, and I hope it's not too bad for you. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful time. I'm not going to make this video private. I think the last ones I made private, but I'll leave this one as like kind of an open letter in case the Warframe community wants to, you know, say stuff in the comments or send it to other people and see what they think about it. This is my current thoughts as a veteran player of Warframe. Thanks for watching.